Last we left off, suddenly surrounded, you were told that you have been summoned by Warren Rexon, being escorted to the Rexon House of Business, walking through oddly long corridors and innumerable doors for a distance longer than it should have been considering the actual size of the manor. Uh, Arriving at a small waiting room with a silver wolf relief in a door whose expression would change from calm to enraged. A The door opens for you with two human men in chairs residing inside, one in a suit at a desk, the other catatonic somewhat in a wheelchair. Warren Rexon asks you questions about yourselves. Most of them replied to with a vague remark about your strength or reputation. Uh, and after a back and forth conversation, led by no side in particular, a man of blue and pink bursts through the door and gives an alarming amount of detail about your going-ons and accomplishments in the world to Warren, subtly remarking that you could be put to work with the evidence of your capability being in your past actions. A detailed description of a job regarding Teague somewhat was mentioned by Warren, but ultimately refused, after which you were told the status quo will remain. Your enemies still present, with no allies or favors gained on either side. Exiting the office, followed by the man who barged in, whom you deduce as the courtesan queen. Turning in the favor of Coupon to the queen, paying some gold to ask a little bit about Silverwind's crime ring, which involved drug trafficking and the slave trade in Haura. You divulge some details about the history, falsehoods, and threats of the world hidden from the public. The queen, convinced of the threat, still makes no formal alliance, but at least tells you that they'll help as they can. After the meeting, you are left to your own devices. The elves, Riley, Chris, and Anwin rest in the mansion atop the piss pit, while Zero and Jana puts their combined talents together to find a certain man somewhere in the city. Uses of scrying, memory, and tracking skills, you eventually narrow the field of search to an alleyway, where you find a pitiable man with strange reptilian eyes, yellow slit pupils, and black sclera. Under the pretense of a potential job, you lure the man to the piss pit, where Zero interrogates him, asking about his history, past dealings, and events that led him here. The talk becomes increasingly more uncomfortable for the man, but the allure of pay keeps the man seated. A boiling point is reached. Zero throws over the table and, with the use of Eldritch Blast, brands the man with an X across the cheek. The tortured screaming and smell of singeing flesh are witnessed by Sailith and her accompanying posse, who had just descended the stairs behind you. That is where we left off.
We're still in the mansion, right?
You and Riley and Anton are all resting the mansion, oblivious to what's going on unless someone contacts you. I think you're probably like an hour or two into your rest, so 2 hours in. So you can use that information as you will. Yeah, Zero. After looking backwards, the brand finish pulling back your still smoking hand, and just witnessing the crumpled, crying and clutching the new, fresh, burned wound into his cheek, just on the floor, just weeping and just screaming, in a mix of screaming and sobbing, just ignoring the surrounding, just all that remains for now in him is the pain which you've just inflicted on him. Jana, you have not seen Sailith in a number of years. No contact, no mention or passing or nary a thought, maybe. And you see her now, a little bit more sallow than you remember, a different haircut than you remember, different clothes, but more or less still the same shape, still the same demeanor from what you can tell from the vague, just from the past memory of her. in a strange situation you found yourself with your new traveling companion. Sailith is just sitting there, just not mouth agape, but just with this expression of shock and confusion. And the three tieflings behind her, uh, the one immediately behind her being a fairly large male tiefling, uh, yellow skin, no hair, really long horns, and fairly built. The one immediately behind him is a uh, female tiefling, blue skin. Uh, if she has horns, you can't see in a mess of curly black hair. And Zero, you see the other tiefling that you met previously, male tiefling with red skin, uh, prong-like horns, well-groomed white hair, and just spectacles, adjusting them a little bit. What would you like to do?
I wanted to specify really quick. I don't want the mark to be just on his cheek. I wanted it to go from like corner to corner of his whole face, if possible.
Okay. Even worse than before. All right.
Yeah, like temple to jaw, like diagonally across the face.
Okay.
I will look back at Sailith for just a moment, and then I want to grab the man by his collar, whatever the fuck he's wearing, and just yank him outside of the piss pit.
Okay. As you grab the man who doesn't resist, except that he's still kind of just dead weight at this point and is not attempting to walk with you, and you're almost having to literally drag him by the feet, just his ankles sliding across the floor. The bartender, halfling lady, is just looking and is not giving a shit what just happened. Jenna, what are you gonna do?
Think I'm going to look at Sailith. Hold on. Where is that? What's that gif where it's like the two cars are like passing opposite directions and they're just looking at each other like you? I feel like that's what's happening to Janet right now. Like she's just like eyebrows are arched, not really approaching, but it's just kind of like, huh? Does that make sense?
Like in a, is that who I think that is kind of way, or?
Yeah, that's pretty close. Is that Umbrella Academy that I'm thinking
I
of?
think it's Umbrella Academy, yeah.
Yeah, this thing. And I'm gonna. So I feel like that's gonna happen for a couple seconds. What's the surroundings again? I forget why are we in the piss pit?
Just as an overall meeting area for the faux job interview that Zero gave. I think.
I feel like I really don't remember. Wait, just like what are we doing here? Is this Sailith the person that we're interviewing?
You helped Zero find a guy somewhere in the city and then brought him back to the piss pit. For what reasons you, Janet, don't know. But
that's right.
Zero,
It's just
Zero
me and Zero here. Wait, who's all here?
Just you and Zero. You and Zero are in the piss pit. Actually, the elves and Anslin are on the roof in the mansion sleeping.
Okay. Sorry, I was so tired by the end of the last session, I really don't remember, like, what even. Okay, so it's just me and Zero. And me and Zero also don't know that we both know this person, right?
As far as I'm aware, yeah.
Okay. And then,
wait,
I'm
did
sorry.
Zero not
I'm
name drop
taking
Sailith
everything
in any of the negotiations at all?
No, I did name drop. Jana hasn't let anyone know that she knows Sailith.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that did happen?
Oh yeah,
I'm like, must be a different one. I think that's
you-
how I'm
you've
gonna
mentioned-
justify it.
Because I think at some point I cast Silent Image so Chris could get a better description of her to help me cast Dream on her. Like, Jenna's seen me show who Sailith is.
I think a while ago I had a plan, but now it's been so long. I'm like, what the fuck was my plan?
Honestly, a Jenna thing to do, so it checks out.
Improvise. It's fine.
It's also
Winging it
probably
is
like
fine.
me, where it's like I know what's going on. I could probably say something, but it's more fun to just sit here with information that only you have. You're
Yeah,
not
you literally
holding
said
over
that.
anybody's head. It's just fun to have information that people don't
Yeah.
know that you have.
Yeah, you literally said that in a session where it's like, I'm not gonna let Zero know I know Sailith.
That sounds like something I would do.
Yeah, that was like a year ago though, so. Yeah, you are.
Misty, is there something you want to do right now? Give me 1 second, because I'm like, is there something very funny that could happen real quick? Because I feel like it'd be like would it be fun to like let you go up and then I somehow like lead you into like I still don't know this person? I think at this point I gotta drop the act.
I mean, you have a beat to do whatever you want because I'm going outside with my dad. I'm gonna carry him. Not carry him. I'm gonna drag him outside, and I'll be out there with him for a second while you
Yeah.
and Sailith
Okay, so
may,
you're not
you
even
know.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the moment, you were in the same room for a little bit, but Zero just.
Where's
You all
that?
made eye contact with each other. Sailith doesn't seem like it's fully acknowledged your presence here yet, Jenna. But at some point,
Okay.
Zero picks up the man and drags him out of the piss pit. So leaving you and Sailith alone for a moment. You can do something
Okay.
or not do something. It's up to you.
So okay, let me circle back. Maybe okay. Thank you. That helped me gather the information I needed to make an appropriate first response. Okay. I think for still we're gonna have that shock thing of like you kind of look, and I think I'm trying to make that eye contact of like, are we going to engage with each other? And I'm looking to Sailith like, okay to approach, you know, kind of. Because in my mind, I'm like, I don't know what they're up to these days. Like maybe they don't want to be approached. So I think I'm trying to communicate that through like body language and eye contact.
Okay. Yeah. Sailith, for a moment, doesn't seem like is still taking in the fact that Zero just magically branded a guy straight up. The smell of his flesh is still kind of lingering in the air. It's not pleasant. And as Sailith takes one step down and looks like it's about to follow Zero, she sort of makes eye contact with you and does like a double take and just has the Umbrella Academy a moment. Yeah. Where you stand there for like 5-10 seconds, 10 seconds, just staring at each other, just squinting like, wait. But
I'm gonna like
it
throw a
seems like
nod
Sailith's gaze.
like I think we're acknowledging each other, and then I'm gonna do like that like come hither thing with your finger.
Sailith's gaze is torn between you, who you have not seen her or seen each other in years, and also Zero, who has done an act. But as you do the sort of come hither motion, she looks towards the door, and it looks like trying to choose between one or the other to interface with right now. And seeing as you're the only one in sight, she very trepidatiously goes towards you and sort of just leans down on her, just onto one knee. Just sort of going, Janet, why are you here? What's going on?
That's a great question. What are you doing here? In
Have
the
you been
piss
traveling
pit
together?
of all places?
She sort of ignores the question and she sort of just goes, have you been traveling with Zara this whole time?
I have. And you know who doesn't know that? That we both know you? Zero. Oh no, Simon.
Oh no.
Did you say something
Hello.
there?
No, not yet.
Oh. I just heard like buzzing.
I'm not being my chair maybe, or my microphone be doing its thing. As you say that, she stands up and starts rubbing her temples, like, and starts pacing, stressed looking. And she sort of just goes, "Okay, this is a lot to process. Hold on." And she just begins to walk out of the building after Zero. And you
I'll
sort of
follow
just
her.
you follow her, and then so do the three tieflings, who are just as confused as Sailith, seemingly they're the ringleader for now. And yeah, as Sailith, Jenna, and the rest of the tieflings following Zero, where are you going with the sim?
I want to grab him and go down a alley. Like I'll stealth. I know I can't really stealth with a weeping man, but I'll do my best to kind of just get out of there in a hurry and just find an alley within the walking distance, I guess. Something dark and dingy.
Yeah, easy enough.
Okay. And I'm going to like haphazardly release his body against the wall, let him fall, whatever he wants to do. I'm gonna give him the money if he hasn't already kept it in hand. I'm gonna give him the money that he was owed, and I'm gonna like kneel down and get in his face, and I'm just going to say, thanks for the chat, Dad. Mom sends her regards. And if I need anything from you in the future to undo the mess you've made, you are going to help me. And if you do not help me, I will not be nearly as gentle. And I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy and just make my voice shake and do fuck shit. And just, I'm trying to intimidate the shit out of him. Because I don't know if I'll need help from him in the future again. He's the only one who knows anything about what happened. And I think he gave me everything, but he also thought I was a stranger. I don't know how much he might have lied about. So I'm just going to, I want to kind of keep him on call if possible. But yeah, I just want to intimidate him.
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
Sorry for being an edgelord, guys. I know it's like my brand, but I kind of overdid it this past couple sessions.
Also, Jana doesn't know like who this guy was, right? Like
No.
I have no clue what's happening.
Nope.
Can't complain. Not here to witness.
All
I
this
feel like I
drama
might have-
happening.
I just wanted to confirm.
Did I not mention he was my dad last session? I guess I might
think
not.
so.
I don't
might
know.
not.
I
feel like
think you
would've
did,
No, no, no,
but
no, 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 no. I mean Riley.
Yeah, in
He has
character.
no fucking clue.
In character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
As far as where, I don't think you mentioned this was your dad. I think you just mentioned there's a guy I need to find.
Okay.
Because you didn't want
I
me
do
to
know.
come at
I
all.
told. Sorry, I know. I told Sailith I was looking for my dad. I will say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, which seemingly was not successful in this endeavor. As she is just a stranger in a strange city, but she did keep an eye out. Just didn't roll very well. Yeah, as you say this, the moment you say dad, his eyes, there's still tears running down his face. It looks like the side of his face, his left side, your right, that you actually burned and branded. That eye, like, it's like the tear ducts don't work anymore, and as he cries, it's like a trail of blood instead. And it is just this charred visage that you inflicted on him, but even through the pain and agony you put him through, the moment the word dad shows up, it almost seems like that pain is just subsided, or at least covered over with this layer of shock. And there's this just palpable pause where he just says nothing, and it's just looking at you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna toss the pouch of, I think it was like 150 gold I gave him. I'm just gonna throw it at him, not hard, but just again haphazardly, and just walk away to go back to the piss pit.
You throw it at him, and he made a big deal about the money before, but even as you throw the money at him, he doesn't even make a passing glance at it as he's just looking at you walk away. He makes no attempt to get up or follow you. He's just sitting there, the money purse at his lap, but he's just staring at you, eyes wide,
Good.
just holding his brand.
Fuck him, dude. Like literally last session, I was like, maybe he's changed. Maybe he regrets what he did. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. So no, fuck that guy. Literally turned his wife and child into tieflings. Fuck that guy.
Wait. But I thought tieflings were... The lore behind the tieflings was... So it is a curse?
I think it just depends on the person, but I know for some cases, like a bloodline has been cursed at some point, and so they're tieflings now.
Is the story, yeah.
Huh.
I don't know what's canon in Simon's world, but I do know when I was writing the backstory, Zero was born human.
Yeah, that's the story that you and everyone that has heard of the tiefling lore, that is the story, yeah.
But yeah, after that, I'll just head back to the piss pit.
Okay, and you meet Sailith and Jenna following in tow. Pretty
Wait,
close.
we pause. So we were just
Yes.
watching it happen? It's like Jana and Sailith?
The conversation or the branding?
The branding.
Yeah, you were there.
And I guess part of the conversation. Like, we saw this whole, like, Zero pulled them out.
You
Just
saw
the whole
Zero.
affair. We probably didn't
You-
catch that it's her dad from the distance. But, like, we
Yeah,
just see,
you-
like, what is happening. Like, the physical actions.
Yeah, you saw Zero pull the guy out. You followed after pretty close, and then you saw words being exchanged, and then you saw Zero walking back towards you.
While that's all happening, I was going to turn to Sailith, like, do you know what the fuck is going on right now?
Sailith is in you've as many years have passed by. Sailith still has a few tells that you recognize. Sailith is stressed. Sailith is thinking. As you say that, Sailith sort of just turns one head towards you. I still focus on Zero and just goes, well, I'm about to find out. And just begins to march towards Zero, where eventually you all meet somewhere halfway between this alleyway and the piss pit, pretty close by. Yeah, as Zero approaches, Sailith sort of just walks pretty close up in front of you and almost stops your forward progress and just goes, what was that?
I'm gonna stifle a smile because I know she's unhappy, and I'm just gonna say, that was nothing. You should see what Agravain's doing.
I know what Agravain's doing. Right now you're the spitting image. What was that?
That was my good old dad that I mentioned previously. The one who is the reason that my mother and I are tieflings. So, hope you can understand the reunion was never going to be peaceful.
He looks towards the man who has now broken off eye contact. Not that you can see that, but he begins to sort of just pick up the gold purse you give through him, and he is currently just walking away down the alley. Very slowly, still clutching the now permanent X-shaped scar across his face. Sailor, still looking at the man walking down the alleyway, just says, and you enjoyed this?
I enjoy protecting my mother, and this man has made that a very difficult task. So, sure.
This wasn't protecting your mother. This was inflicting pain on another person. There is a difference. That man is filthy, is decrepit. He was not a threat to your mother.
Do you know what he said, Sailith? He didn't regret any of it. I asked him what happened to his wife and his child, and he said he didn't fucking care. That man, despite the shape he is in, don't be fooled, is still filled with venom and hate. He's a selfish monster of a man. Please don't waste your pity on somebody like that. I understand what you're saying, and I don't like to do stuff like this to people. I don't regularly do this, but this was different.
Do you feel better?
Yeah.
Are you done with this business? Can you let it go?
I mean, ideally, I have some stuff to follow up on with the information he gave me, and I let him know I might be in contact with him again. But I'm done with him here. Yes.
You'll make an insight check.
God damn it. Can I get advantage for knowing any of these people long enough? Like Sailith?
Sure.
You don't have to give it to me.
That's a fair ask.
It's gonna be worse, watch. Yep.
Yeah. You've known Sailith for a while. You grew up together, but in this moment, you can still feel your heartbeat just pounding, the thoughts running through your head, whether good or bad, relevant or not. Right now, all you see as you look up and meet Sailith's gaze is just this look. It's not a good look from Sailith. You know this much, but in the current moment, you don't know what she's thinking. Sailith sort of walks off a couple feet, rubbing her temples, and just takes one sigh. The other three tieflings are just letting this... No, Jesus. Who dat?
Seems to be fine.
Okay. The other tieflings are just letting this happen, just keeping this back. This seems like a personal matter. They do not want to get involved right now. As Sailith returns back to the three of you and just goes, so what now?
Can I cast Detect Thoughts on Sailith? Because you said she like walked away for a moment.
Yeah, just a couple feet, just like this like stress pace.
Okay. Can I cast Detect Thoughts on her? I just want to know surface thoughts.
Okay.
Wait,
as
question. Hold on,
yes.
sorry. She'll only know I cast it if I go deeper, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to go deeper, just surface thoughts.
Okay. As you cast Detect Thoughts, you cast the spell, though as you cast it, something feels wrong. And the spell still releases and you still connect with Sailith, but through that whole casting, it feels like the connection is a little weaker than before. But the spell goes through, regardless. The surface thoughts of Sailith are just what happened to them in the past year.
Yeah, that tracks. Oh, yeah.
But the question Sailith asks still remains. So what now?
She's asking me and Jana.
Yeah.
Well, is your business here completed?
My business was the procuring food for the town, which seemingly you've done already, so yes.
Then I think at our nearest availability, we can bring you back to Fentu if you'd like.
Well, I have no reason still being here, so sure. She sort of just turns one shoulder to the other tieflings there, and she just goes, start packing up. Anything you can grab. The three just nod. The large tiefling, the nerd tiefling, just go off back to the piss pit that the blue tiefling sort of lingers a bit and just sort of, even as walking away, sort of just like bends backwards and just stares at you all before just ducking back behind the corner and just walking back to the piss pit.
The nerdy one?
The blue female one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I forgot she was there.
Yeah, she's there.
Can I make an insight check? What was their vibe? The other three tieflings.
Sure, make an insight check.
It's gonna suck. Yeah.
Okay. The not too hard to make out their thoughts seemingly. The large yellow tiefling and the nerd red tiefling are they looked visibly uncomfortable. Because seemingly Sailith looked visibly uncomfortable. The blue one just seemed curious what was going on. Yeah, but the three of them leave, leaving just you, Sailith, and Jana, just together in an alleyway, in the middle of Crime Town.
Zero, are you going to introduce me to your friend?
Is Sailith still with us at this point?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Zero still not really knowing. We'll just be like, yes, right. Jana, this is Sailith. I worked with her in Fentu for some time. Sailith, this is Jana. We met in... Where did we meet? This is out of character. Where did we meet again? Imus?
Yeah, we met
Yes.
Imus.
Yeah, we met a few months back in Imus when I got to the mainland. And she's been a good friend since.
That's very nice. Zero, I'd like to introduce you to my friend Sailith. We traveled together around a lot. And we were very close.
I just have like a confused look on my face now, and I'm just, my eyes are darting back and forth between Jana and Sailith.
What I hope to happen, and
Questioning.
Simon, you can tell me whether it does or not, because I don't really know Sailith, but I want to give Sailith a look, and I hope we like both laugh, and Zero's the only one not laughing. I want that little sitcom moment.
Yeah, Sailith is still in the middle of rubbing her temples, but as you say, Sailith, like, sure, this is my friend Sailith. Sailith does chuckle a bit, even in this weird, violent situation that the first meeting, technically, between the three of you happened under. She sort of just shakes both of your hands. It's nice to meet you both. How do you know each other? You met in Imus and why just began adventuring together?
Did we have a treasure map? What was?
I I tried to steal from them, and I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna turn to
Oh,
Jana and just.
yeah.
I'm gonna kneel down and squint at Jana and be like, "You knew this the whole time."
Jana's just like laughing. She's like, I don't know, I thought it could be fun.
Zero just lets out a sigh and shakes their head a little bit, but it is funny.
What are the odds? Well,
But yeah, I tried to steal from Jana and the others, and they took pity on me. Just like I'll just kick Jana's foot a little, not hard, just a little.
Uh, yeah, Silas just sort of goes, that story seems familiar, and sort of looks towards you, Jana, a little bit. Yeah, if I recall, you had it. Sailith had a similar experience with you and the other ones.
I think
Jana.
I know. I'm like looking back on my notes. I'm like, what did I?
I think that was a. I think that's how you met Sailith, technically,
I don't
if I remember correctly.
think. Sure, I'll say sure.
No, we'll figure out if I'm wrong later on.
Yeah.
So, introductions out of the way. Business included. How are we getting out of here?
We have ways. It's, we have to wait for our other two partners to finish their rest, but once they're ready to go, I think we can leave immediately from here. Actually, do we
Okay.
want to head up to the S is the verb, Dana. Do we want to head up to the Magnificent Mansion? Just poke our heads in, see how they're doing. Because at this point, how much time has passed for the boys?
They've been resting in the mansion for probably about an hour or two or so while you guys are out traipsing around the city. So the 2 hours ish.
Gotcha. I will politely invite Sailith and her friends. None of which I don't recognize any of them, right?
No.
Okay.
Right. Oh, sorry. I'd be like, and who are you traveling with?
Those are a few faces I've known in town. Big one's Torza. The book smart bookworm is Grep. And the bulby girl is Etty. They have their skills in certain areas, and I didn't feel right traveling alone outside. And my old posse is a bit fragmented right now.
Anything you want to get into, or leave it at that?
What was that?
Anything you want to get into, or leave it at that? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very slow. I've had a long day. I get what she's saying now. I thought she was traveling with like another group that fell apart. It's both me and Zero. I get it. Sounds great. Pleasure to meet you guys.
Sorry,
I'm
taking
sorry.
a
It's been a
sip of
long
water.
day.
Well, they're good people. They've done a pretty okay job. If this all works out and they make it back home, I might have some more work for them.
Well, when you guys are done packing, I suppose, if you want to meet us up there, and I'll just like nod my head to the weird fucking growth on the roof of the building, and just say, you guys are welcome to join us in there. Maybe get a meal that isn't from the piss pit. You know.
She just looks up at this opaque dome, brown dome, just like this boil on top of the roof. Which honestly, this building in the state of it is wouldn't be surprising. She looks at that and just turns towards the two of you and just goes, "Your travels have certainly been more interesting than mine." As she begins to just walk towards the piss pit, still a little bit tense from the from witnessing acts. Yeah. Yeah, just leaving you, Zero, and Jenna alone in the alleyway. Anything you'd like to accomplish?
I will go back to the piss pit and clean up the furniture that I threw. I guess it was just a table. I threw a table.
Yeah, just the table. You threw a table. Yeah, you go back in, you just right the table. Bartender just looks at you and just goes, "That's better than most people do. Thank you."
I'm gonna mage hand her 10 gold and just put it on the counter.
Yeah, you just mage hand 10 gold over. She happily takes it again. 2 days in a row. You're not from around here, are you? She just takes a big whiff, this big inhalation of just this burning pipe she has. Breathes it directly in your face, or at least towards your direction.
I just gave a light shrug.
And she just shrugs back and just keeps smoking. All right, Jenna. Anything to accomplish in this time?
I will be right back really quick, sorry.
Okay.
I don't think so if we're just going back.
Okay. All right.
Although on the way back, I'm going to be pestering Sailith for embarrassing stories about Zero.
Collecting embarrassing stories about everybody. Zero specifically. Make a persuasion check.
Do I have advantage because I have a background?
Not for this one, no.
That's fair.
So the sir just thinks for a moment. Yeah, and just over the next how long do you want to continue talking with Sailith?
I guess it's just like chit chat on the way back, you know?
Okay. Yeah, as you find Sailith just pretty much in the process of just organizing the group she has with her. They're just packing up their things and just making sure she's systematically going through like all their belongings, making sure everything is in the right order. And as you begin to approach, with that persuasion check, you using Zero's embarrassing stories as like a lighthearted icebreaker. The sort of logical side that you've known her to have. She is this very detail oriented person where everything needs to have a plan and like this laid out spreadsheet of all options possible. That side begins to soften for seemingly probably the first time in a while since she's been out here. And you spend the next hour, 2 hours or so just telling each other about your journeys and old times and embarrassing stories about Zero.
Cool.
Yeah, and and it seems for the moment, it's almost like you got shot backwards in time, and you're just by a campfire again, just with the rest of your old party.
I'll just say,
Yeah.
I feel like when you get back, I'm be like, man, really have missed your company. I hope you've been doing well.
It's been okay. It's not quite as fun as traveling with you and the girls.
No. But all good things must come to an end, I guess. But it's good to see you again, friend.
It came an end for me, but seemingly you're more or less doing the same. Have you ever seen any of the other girls yet? Heard from them?
No, have you?
One,
Who?
Amis.
Hmm.
She figured herself out. I met her a little bit in strange circumstances. She lives in Sant now in Medea, the dead people capital of the country.
That is, I think, good. Did
I think so.
Did she seem at peace?
I don't know. She seemed. It seems like she found what she was looking for, but
Guess
I
that-
don't know if that makes her happy.
I guess that's just what all any of us need. Whether or not it makes us happy. Lord knows the journey I'm on is needed, but it may not make, you know. It's a bit complicated to explain. I'm assuming at this point we're like walking in.
Yeah, this is after a good number of conversation at this point.
We were heading back to the mansion, right? Did I misunderstand?
Sorry, I'm back. I believe so. I think I was waiting for the tieflings to be done getting ready, and then we could take them up to the mansion while the elves are still resting.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, let's say that takes about, let's say, like half hour or so.
Okay.
And that time conversation happens. Yeah, eventually they do finish packing up, and they just begin to climb up the building. And yeah, as you follow suit, I guess they follow you. You approach this big circular boil on top of this the roof of the piss pit. It is opaque; you can't see inside. But considering patterns, you probably gather the mansions in there. Yeah, as you step
this
through.
is us. Coming in.
As you step through, they try to follow suit, and they are blocked by the tiny hut.
Fuck. Damn.
It's an easy fix.
You're asleep.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, not asleep.
knock.
He's in a trance.
Same thing.
I
Can
will pop
I-
my head out.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just gonna say I'll pop my head out of the boil really quick and just say 1 second, and I will go up to the mansion door, and I will peek my head in to see if Riley is within shouting distance.
It's a fairly sizable manor, I think. You can try.
Can I open the door and then cast message to Riley and ask him to change the Wi-Fi password, please, or give us the Wi-Fi password?
Ah, everyone's trying to get on my fucking Netflix.
Do you change your permission settings?
Do I hear? Oh yeah, I would hear the message, right?
Yeah.
Huh? Who dares disturb my slumber? Oh, it's just 0. Yeah, 1 second! I change it so that only Sailith can get in. Or that I only change it for Sailith, rather.
Okay, yeah, you don't even really know there's other people there, to be honest. Yeah, as Sailith walks through, the other 3 tieflings are barred from entry still. As you turn around, Sailith's there. You can see the other 3 tieflings because you're now inside the dome. It's now like translucent, and they just look like kids on the street looking in a family, like in Christmas Eve, just having a happy dinner. And they're outside in the snow.
Oh.
It's Squidward looking out the window.
Yeah.
I will pinch the bridge of my nose and just be like, "Hey, we have a few more guests, if that's okay."
Oh.
Nah, I'm just playing. He'll get up. He'll take a look at the new friends and be, okay, cleared.
He'll vibe check them. Thank you, Riley.
If you need anything else from me, ask now. I need my power nap.
That's it, thank you.
Okay. I can't be laughing at my own stupid ass jokes.
Elf, who does not need to sleep, snores loudly anyway.
Sometimes it just feels good.
This is true. Okay. Through the impenetrable tiny hut barrier, yeah, Zero and Janna, you walk into the hut, and as they're about to, the door slams as there is a second security blanket of the mansion cannot be accessed either.
Oh
by
my god! It's understandable. It's understandable. I will do the same thing where I cast a message and reach out to Chris and just ask him, "Hey Chris, can my friends come over, please?"
Uh-oh, Brandon.
Yeah, okay, it's doing the thing.
Hello?
While we're
No, it's still doing the thing.
Oh, I said while we're all waiting outside for Chris to come to the door, Jana's just gonna turn to Zero and say, "So I heard you peed your pants with the rusty spoon."
I'm just gonna poke my head in and just yell Chris loud. just avoiding eye contact with Jana.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I say, what friends? Who are these? What is it?
What is it? I will just cast message again, just be like some more tiefling friends that are gonna head back to Sant with us when we go back. If that's okay, may they please enjoy the luxury of your beautiful mansion.
Are they dangerous?
I'm gonna turn and eye them up. Do any of them look dangerous other than like the big one?
You know, Sailith is a little dangerous. The big one looks dangerous. The other 2 look, they look unassuming.
Are they
The nerd
dangerous to
is
us?
probably
That was
dangerous.
the question. No.
The irony of Chris asking if something is dangerous. You'd think he would welcome that in his home.
Him back suddenly he wants to background check people. I'm just gonna say yeah, they're fine.
They're fine by they are dangerous?
They're fine. This is their message, so they can't hear me. They're fine, as in they couldn't kill you.
And the only metric Chris understands.
That's good, but I like dangerous.
Awesome. So I'm gonna set up the Hunger Games trials outside of the magnificent mansion, so they can prove their worth before they walk in. I'm joking. I'm just gonna say, Chris, please, please. Chris, please. This is so awkward. Please.
Fine, but the Merricks will take care of them and watch over them. They'll report back to me.
Okay. Thank you, Chris.
This makes
I
me feel
will.
good about our own security. Like, We can't even get into our own house.
Yeah, no, your security system of tiny hut and mansion is like adding a padlock to your padlock. Like it is redundant, but kind of like
It's like two-factor authentication.
literally it is actually two-factor authentication. That is exactly what it is. Like it is the securest of the secure, unless they have magic powers. But to anyone else, that shit is impenetrable.
Oh, so Simon has something to bypass it all. Great.
It's still magic. I'm just saying. There's things that can bypass magic.
Just the way you said it, like, unless it's magic, everything else, though, like, you guys are fine. It was just
Magic
Jamming jam.
2.
magic too.
Oh yeah, magic jam.
Yeah, the jamming jam. The jamming jam, the blocking chuck, Other things that rhyme I can make. Yeah. Chris, you alter your privacy settings.
Yep.
Okay. All right. As you buzz into new tenants, the Etty, the blue tiefling, is after the door slam. She's been laughing her ass off the whole time. But eventually, you all walk in, and you all are in kind of various states of raggedy, but they look not great. But walking inside, they are the eyesore of the mansion, and they're just taking in the splendor. This is probably, unironically, the nicest place they've ever been. To like Zero, you know this. Even the nice houses in Sant still kind of had like some shoddiness to it because the buildings are still like made of like mud. So it's like there's a limit to how nice it could get. This is like fancy, like mainland fancy.
The upper Chrysalon.
Yeah. Yeah, and as per your instruction, Chris, the Merrick attendants immediately come up and are just in unison in this one creepy chorus. Hello, how may I help you?
Yes, the Merricks will see you now.
The blue tiefling Eddie sort of walks up to you, Zero, and just goes, "So like, you guys like live here?"
I mean, I don't. The fancy wizard stays here occasionally.
Damn, bitch, you live like this?
He just looks around and just goes, "I should have been a wizard growing up. Things would have been so much easier." And
That's the truth.
without permission, it begins walking around the house, just exploring everything and just touching literally everything. And one American is constantly shadowing her at all times.
I will just shout over to her as she walks away. Just be like, be careful. The wizard that designed this house is fucking crazy.
She just gives this big bubbly smile, and she just goes, "And that's the problem, how?" And just disappears into the kitchen.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, we
Oh
found
no, no. The gasoline to the fire. This is not.
Yeah. Sailith sort of just goes up to the both of you, Jenna, Zero, and just goes, "So, nice place. Where exactly do we go?"
Simon, we've been in this enough to know like the layout, right?
Yeah, it's just there's rooms. Chris, did you make guest rooms, or was it just the four of your rooms?
I think I made guest rooms.
Yeah, you can
There's
say
also
there's guest rooms. if you want to.
there's also the dining room and the
Forgot about that.
the
what
the
room?
library.
The dining room. Yeah,
Is that different than a dining room?
no,
It's
Yes,
just called
it's
the dining room?
fancier.
the dining room.
That's fun. Is it a
Typos.
supping room?
Yeah, probably. It's the same room.
I think I did a conservatory thing.
Yeah,
Like a relaxing place.
Yeah, I still need to get
Living
the proper map of the mansion laid out. Yeah, there's probably a few guest rooms. You guys have had a number of other people in here occasionally, Merrick mostly. Yeah, as you lead them to their rooms, yeah, there's 3 attendants, Merrick attendants, just constantly following them. What time is it? It's like, oh yeah, it's not night. It's still like like mid afternoon or so, late afternoon. So there's still some daylight, but they're just gonna chill for the rest of the day. As Eddie's just exploring the mansion, you can see her occasionally just walk across the hallway and just go into every single room.
No.
Torza, the giant tiefling, is just following Sailith's orders, and Grep is looking nervous at all times. Just not sure what to think of anything, but Sailith, knowing the 2 of you, seems to put her mind at ease, at least for now. As you guide her to the rooms, she just peeks one head in, just touches the walls, and just instinctively to make sure there's no traps. Yeah, as she walks inside, just turns back towards you. To Janet, and just goes, so I guess, see you in the morning then. We're off to home then.
What time do you say it was again, Simon?
It's like late afternoon. You still got some daylight to burn.
Okay, and I guess, yeah, me and Jana do need to take a long rest at some point.
What's
I will
home for
just
you
say-
guys?
It's a hidden town. It's Fentu. I think I've maybe talked about it once or twice in our travels. It's a nice place.
We've been there, right?
I'll take you there sometime. You've been there, yeah.
You're like, ah, yeah. Yeah, we know the place.
She sort of just looks towards Yuzu and just goes, oh, do you?
I will just keep a a neutral expression and just squint at Jana.
Well,
It's okay. I'm joking. I don't think... You're not the domestic terrorist type, Jana.
I'm not in this group.
The smile fades immediately. Like, immediately just goes, are you a domestic terrorist?
In this group, no.
Chris is having a smile.
You probably have like this like mega mind like set of monitors like in every single room with listening posts inside, just listening to everything that's going on right now. Sailith looks now visibly drained. She just slowly closes the door with a very meek good night.
Oh, can
Yeah,
I have one last conversation before we go off with Sailith?
Sure.
I just want to ask, like, what do you think? How do you think Kata and Kina are doing? I guess we haven't heard from them, but like, they're the ones that worry me.
Honestly, I don't know. Because, well, they said they had some, what, birthright, destiny, something to do with that country. And I haven't heard many stories about them or even about Narset, but don't they shoot anyone that gets close? Like, without warning. That's what I've heard. And we watched them walk in.
Oh, this is the city, not them. I'm like, that's different than when we were traveling
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah. We're talking about Garyland.
Garyland. Yeah. That's where you last saw Kata and Kingo.
Okay.
Is that the Dragon Gates to our set? The Dragon Bridge.
Yeah. Knowing them, they wouldn't go in without a plan, but also it did seem like madness. I'm not sure. I guess. I don't know. Just hope the best for them. I'm glad you've seen Emmy's sense. That's at least a relief.
I hope they're okay too. I think they will be, if they're at least together. If it was just the one of them, I don't know. Sort of a buy one, get one free deal, the two of them. You ever find yourself in Sant again, and you're not a wanted fugitive like I am, maybe you can make your way to Midday at some point. Amy should still be there. Maybe.
I'll do that.
She always liked you more than she liked me. I'd like to know more about your travels. At some point. There's a lot going on right now. Sorry if I'm a bit high-strung.
What's on your mind?
Zero hasn't done that before, have they?
Scarred someone's face?
Just leave a mark on them. Painfully, seemingly.
I'm legitimately thinking, have I?
Not in that way, I don't think so.
Yeah. I'll say no, not since I've been traveling with them. I don't know Zero's past or anything like that, so I can only hope that that was the right thing to do.
If Zero does that again, can you find a way to contact me?
I will.
Zero just kneels down and just puts a hand on your shoulder and just pulls you in for a hug.
Jenna
And-
hugs back.
Yeah. And just as you pull away, she just goes, "Thanks, Jenna."
I'll keep an eye on Zero.
I know you will. Okay. And she retires for the night. Just gently closing the door, quietly.
Adriana goes back to her room.
Okay. Zero, what you doing?
I guess sometime after after Sailith is in her room for the night, I'd like to go to the door and just knock on it, speak to her.
Okay.
Wait, whose door?
Sailith.
Sailith, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, so sometime after that conversation, 2 private conversations. Yeah, you, after a knock on the door, a brief pause, Sailith opens the door. A little less armored, not in the uncomfortable looking fur, just normal, just normal travel gear. Looks like it hasn't been washed in a while, but making do. Uh, yeah. You see Sailith, and she just makes eye contact with you and just opens the door wider, lets you in.
I step in.
Okay. Yeah, she closes the door and just waits.
I will just take a few steps in and just pace kind of slowly and just say, so you're fully aware of what Agravain's doing in the city.
He's been on a decline. I don't know what caused it, but he's been more volatile lately.
Okay. I haven't said anything to my party members yet, but they are going to want to know at some point if we, and we will inevitably cross paths with Agravain again. They deserve to know that Agravain has been killing members of Pure Soul Dogma. I don't know that they'll want to be affiliated with somebody like that. Obviously, I'm not on good terms with Pure Soul, but they have been allies for us briefly during our travels. So I have not mentioned it to the party yet, but I am not going to hide this from them for much longer. I just wanted to let you know beforehand.
She sort of just nods and looks around the room, the nice interior of it. Just the well-fluffed beds and the one lone Merrick attendant just standing in the corner watching over everything.
Ew.
the, the order from Chris, my attendants will watch over what they're doing. With no time limit or restrictions. There's a Merrick attendant in here. Seems Sailith has just gotten used to it and just assumed this is some weird magic shit, but yeah, as she begins to just let her eyes wander, and she just sort of looks at the ground in this state of deep thought. She just sort of goes, "What do you think about what Agravain's doing?"
I think that while I understand his pain and the passion behind what he's doing, I think he's creating a larger target on the backs of tieflings. There's still tieflings in the city who will probably see the repercussions of this, because who else might be responsible for murdering them like this, if that makes sense. But I think he's just going about it the wrong way. I also want justice, but I think something to this scale is potentially killing innocent people that were kind of lost in the crossfire, as well as creating a fear and a panic within the city of us, and only further reinforcing the prejudices that were already held against us. I don't blame him, but I do intend on speaking to him when I have a moment to return to the city.
He sort of just nods and just goes, "I agree. I don't disagree with how he's feeling. I really don't. I don't have any love for Pure Soul Dogma, but this is not our way. We don't send messages. We don't leave." She sort of looks at your hands. "We don't leave marks. We go in, we get what we need, and quietly leave. We make a ruckus, and eventually someone's going to notice. That's what Agravain seems to want." I've talked with him a little bit, and I don't think I've been getting through to him. I don't think his brother's been getting through to him.
You don't think that the tieflings, the Fintu, just saunt all over, deserve a better life than settling for the scraps that we're able to steal for them?
I'm not saying we don't deserve more. I'm saying that if we go about it in a way that's too dangerous, we won't be having anything at all. The only reason for our continued existence is by staying silent, staying at least incognito enough that they don't know what's missing. There's enough contention that there's not a full-blown crusade against us yet, at least not in a while. If we make it too large of a target ourselves, like Agravain's doing, stirring up wasps' nests like he is, then they're going to have a reason. Their fervor for our continued demise is just going to increase. And the cycle of hatred goes on.
While I disagree with how he's going about it, I don't disagree with the motivation. I think that the pattern needs to be disrupted. I think that the normal needs to be questioned in the eyes of the citizens of Sant that stand by and do nothing. I don't want to hide anymore. I don't think anyone should have to hide. And I think causing problems and going about it the right way could be utilized well to initiate this change. I don't think we should murder people outright, and I don't think that waging war immediately is the way to go. But long term, for the freedom of tieflings, the rate that we've been going at has gotten us nowhere. We're still dying. We're still being tortured. We're still being hunted. And I think I also want to think a bit bigger than that and disrupt the pattern instead of continuing to cower. And I'm not saying that your choice isn't wise or it's made of fear, but while you maintain the back end, helping people, making sure they have enough to eat and providing for them, people like Agravain and me are thinking a bit more long term. And I will do what I can to speak to him. And if I cannot get through to him, for the sake of not escalating things further without a plan, I will probably have to bring him back to Fintu by force. Not looking forward to it, but it is what it is. But yeah, I see what you're saying and I see why you're doing it, but it's really not helping anymore. And I think stepping back and handling the problem at the root is where we go from here.
She just lets out a... She leans up against the wall and just sort of sits down a little bit. Just relaxing as much as she can. And just lets out a heavy sigh. Well, the point is moot, as long as Agravain keeps doing what he's doing. If you want to spearhead a new age of tiefling existence, by all means. The first thing to do is at least as you said, getting to aggravate himself. Because regardless of what we both want, what he's doing is not helping anything. If there is to be a life for us in Sant, it's not through bloodshed.
Is his brother okay with this? Do you know?
I don't think he is. I've talked to Tild a little bit. He's kind of the only one I can depend on in town right now. I've tried getting him to talk to Agrabah, but he's still doing what he's doing.
I will find him. I can't guarantee how soon it'll be because my party and I still have business elsewhere. But I will at some point head to the city and find him and bring him home, whether that's by force or not.
She just sort of looks at the floor still, nods her head a bit, and just looks up at you. Okay. I saw what he was doing, and then I saw what you did to that man. I couldn't help but feel that it felt similar. A message being sent.
I like to think of it more like a warning for anyone who may cross paths with people like this again. This person has proven that he has no regard for anyone but himself and would easily stab anyone in the back, I would imagine. It was more for me, it was personal, but I feel like this is the most non-violent I can be with a person like this who is irredeemable until he actually puts in the work to change. I understand why you don't agree with it, but it's, in my opinion, a compromise to at least alert everyone around him that they need to be wary or that he is not trustworthy.
Honestly, I don't think he has much left longer in this town.
What makes you say that?
I've been here for a bit. I know it's a town comprised of vultures, opportunists, just looking for anything and anyone to feed on. There's already enough downtrodden people just littering the streets. Now there's a wounded and marked downtrodden. The clothes on his back is enough for someone to kill him and take. He had it hard enough. He didn't need to do that.
Like I said, that one was personal.
And that's the problem. It was personal. We don't get personal in this line of work. That's when people die.
Agree to disagree.
Despite the weird meeting and running into my old friend, it is really, really good to see you.
It's good to see you. And I'll hug Sailith.
She gets up and hugs back. You do smell like butterscotch.
Okay. I believe you. As I pull back, I will just ask, I also have some more news. Would you like the good part first or the bad part?
We'll have to get to them both either way. Dealer's choice.
Okay. So, upon some use of magic fuckery here and there, I have discovered that Nyx is alive in the city. So that's the good news. Bad news is she has been, I would imagine, forcibly employed by the... Simon, real quick, what was the name of the person from the scrying? The person in the robes or whatever, the mage?
There were two people there, I think.
Yeah. Or at least like their titles.
They were both inquisitors. I believe one was I don't know if you know the name of the guy specifically. There's a human guy. There's a human woman there too who had a like a scarred up cleft lip that looked like it healed poorly, and she looked like the mage, and she was referred to as Inquisitor Desdi.
Gotcha. Then
That's
yeah,
where someone. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
sorry. I will just say, she seems to be, I hope, forcibly employed by a couple inquisitors, specifically one of them being Inquisitor Desdi, and she is, again, I don't know what they've done to her, what the extent of it is. She is missing a horn, but she's working with them to locate Fintu, and I've already watched her kill somebody who was from home that trusted her. Simon, what was his name? Is it Ulan?
Ulan, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, in the moment I had to keep an eye on her, she murdered Ulan outright, no emotion. And he had given her pretty important information regarding some of the allies in the city, like what to look out for, who to speak to, and now those people are probably in danger, but that is just something to be wary of. I've already warned Agrabane not to trust her. I've warned Leland, and I'm sure they'll both spread the word, but I wanted you to know as well.
Initially, she gives a look of shock and just surprise and just incredulous wonder at the news of this. But then as you begin to explain the situation, that logic side of her brain begins to kick and she just begins pacing and just thinking. You mentioned Opera's Inquisitor Desti.
Yes.
She's a pretty powerful mage, from what I've heard. She works pretty closely with Inquisitor Ulysses. If it's those two, then that's not good. She begins pacing more. When you can, because you're going to be able to do it faster than I can you contact Tild and get him to investigate? If he's not going to listen to you, tell him I sent you.
Are you sure you want to put him into danger like that?
Like I said, he's the only one I can depend on right now. He's good at getting himself out of danger, you know this.
Okay. I will let him know as soon as I can. As I said, I do intend on returning to the city in the near future. I can't guarantee when that'll be, but when I do, I do intend on meeting up with her. I don't know what the circumstances of that will look like, but ideally I'd like to bring her home. And I know there's a lot of risks in doing that, now that she has seemed to have been compromised, but I don't think she's doing this by choice. So I want to give her a chance to tell her side, I guess, and I think apologize, probably. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know. I will reach out to Tild sooner than later, probably tonight. But that's it. Thank you for seeing me, I guess.
Thanks for coming to get me. And telling me. She gestures to the whole room. All that. I have a lot to think about.
Right. Understandable. Just let me know if any new decisions are made. I want to be able to help where I can, and having all of these different pieces so far apart on the board is stress-inducing. That's why I'd like to get you home sooner than later, as well as Agrabah and Tild. I think they are the type of people who, if the Inquisitors got their hands on them, they would make prime examples out of. And I don't want that to happen. So please just keep me posted if anything develops, or if you come to any ideas or decisions or anything like that.
Noted. As she says that she's just going through her bag, trying to look for paper and ink right now, and just finds a flat surface to begin writing out something. And at this point, her attention is just fully focused on whatever she's doing currently. And she's not even looking up at you anymore. She's just writing feverishly stuff down.
Is this something she does, or do I think I need to wait?
She's a notorious note taker.
Okay. And I'll just be like, I will go ahead and let you rest for the night. I'll see you tomorrow.
Good night. Not even looking up from the page, just writing.
And before I leave, can I turn to the Merrick in the room and just be like, can you get out?
He sort of turns to Sailith and just goes, moist owlet. And she just goes, no. and then he begins to just leave the room at your behest.
Okay, and I will follow him and
Okay.
leave.
All right. Okay. So, Zerjana, any final things you want to accomplish whilst in the city and the mansion?
Me?
Either of you.
Mm-mm. Oh, bedtime.
Okay. Jerry going to bed too?
I think I'll just do one last thing. I'll make it quick. Because I know I've had the floor for a while. I will cast sending. Ugh, I can't. My memory is so shit. I know I just spoke to her. What part did she want me to tell Tilde? Was it about Nyx?
Telling a Nyx, not telling Till to investigate Nyx or the Inquisitors involved.
Okay. I didn't think how many words this is. Fuck. Okay. I want to cast sending to Tilde, and I'm going to say Nyx is alive. She's working for the Inquisitor. Sailith says to please investigate them. Please be careful. I'll contact you tomorrow.
You feel the message send, though the connection's a little weaker.
Fuck, I forgot I'm in here. Fuck. Okay.
But the message was sent. In a classic Tilt fashion, you get no response.
Okay. Wait, does he need to be able to speak to respond?
Maybe. Not for... I don't remember. I think sending is mostly in your head. It depends on the caster to caster, really. But like,
Okay.
either way, no response.
That's fine. Thank you. And that is it for me.
Okay. As Janet hits the hay, Sailith is doing something in the room. 2 hours pass. Elves, you can hear shuffling and just walking people around outside occasionally, but for the most part, your rest goes uninterrupted. For the next 2 hours, you begin to enter your trance, meditate, other than that one interruption where you had to adjust your password a little bit. Yeah, you get a full rest, and you are fresh as a spring chicken. It is evening at this point, but y'all are awake.
Thing I have
I-
absolutely no concept of time in this house. Well, my circadian rhythm would be dead.
I'll investigate these people that came in. I'm gonna go peek in the rooms.
Using your mastermind set of monitors in your room. Yeah, you peek into the. Are you physically going in, or do you have some weird magic banner bullshit you want to do?
No, I'm just gonna peek in.
Okay, you open the door and you see a large yellow tiefling who is just in the bed that you have made as normal, and just shaved head, long horns, and is just currently just keeping him out of the way. And it looks like he's just sleeping. You see 2 feet from the bed is a Merrick attendant just standing over him, watching him as he's sleeping.
I nod my head. Yes. And then I close the door.
Yes.
All according to plan.
After I do that, I'm gonna cast light on my eyeball.
Just one of them?
I think I can only do one of them.
I think technically it has to be a singular object, but because you're Chris, I'll allow it.
Because you're
It's going Sam's
Chris, I'll
Undertale.
allow it.
Oh yeah, that's just my justification for anything Brandon does in this game. So Chris, sure, why not? You cast light on your eyeball.
And now I'll just peek in the other rooms, and then they'll shine.
Okay, this is like a what? There's like a goddamn Edgar Allan Poe short story about this, isn't there?
Yeah, like the Raven, or not the Raven. No. It was Road Doll.
Something like that. God, I thought it was the fucking Telltale Heart where it's like
That was
lantern
the
and just
one.
like shining.
That's
Yeah.
the one.
God, this you're creating an Edgar Allan Poe novel in your own home with guests in it. Yeah, the next one you see is actually empty. Look inside. There's no one in there. Not even a Merrick attendant.
You want to lead them to the wine cellar as well?
Please come in. Today's lamb is fantastic.
Chris has magically conjured up body parts in his basement just for fun. In the floorboards. Yeah, but the next room after that, the next guest room is empty. There's just no one in there. Oh, are we going to the next one? Oh, Chris, Brandon.
Yeah, I'll go into the next one.
Okay. As you pass the empty one and you go into the next one, you see a red tiefling who is. You don't see much of the body or the face because you just see horns sticking out from under blankets and just the blanket over the head and just trembling little fingers just like over the edge of the blanket as he's trying to sleep with the Merrick attendant just standing like a foot away from staring at him.
Are they awake?
You gather that the red one's awake, yeah.
I see you.
Make an intimidation check with advantage. Jesus. You see the blankets, right? You see the trembling go quicker, and then you see a wet spot begin to just begin to appear. And then you hear in very whispered terms the Merrick attendant just go, "Can I get you a towel?" And then you hear very meekly, "Yes."
I close the door.
And he thought I was bad.
Someone's gonna have PTSD by the end of this night. You close the door. Your brain of terror ended.
I love that Merrick is essentially like a fucking sleep paralysis demon for all of these people. Just in the corner of your room watching you.
I heard the order. I'm just saying they will watch everything they're doing,
Oh,
including sleeping. What else would you like to do, Chris?
Yeah, I'll just move on.
Okay. Yeah, just continuing your rounds. Sure. Riley, would you like to accomplish anything?
Not really.
Okay. Yeah, just wake up, do idle activities until the next leg of your adventure.
Pretty much.
All right. Chris, make a perception check.
oh, sorry.
Okay. All right. As you're sort of making your rounds, your eyes still a little bit glowing, you pass by the kitchen, then you hear just shuffling. And then it just stops.
I head towards the kitchen.
Okay. You just enter the kitchen. Um, it looks a little ravaged. Like it like and the animal has just went through every drawer and cupboard and it's just looking for stuff, and there's just food all over the place, like just ripped pieces of lettuce and just like the cooked meats that have just been burned in the pan. And you're
Was
looking
my
around.
was my lettuce knife used?
Unfortunately, your lettuce knife was used. Yes, you can see there's fresh, specifically iceberg lettuce, just left on its weird plastic rubber blade. The heresy of using your lettuce knife. Man, y'all really share the same brain cell sometimes, huh? Same time. Man, you're just looking around. You don't see any sign of anybody, but you do see your Merrick attendant just standing there looking at like the pantry.
I'll ask him what happened.
He sort of just turns toward you, gives a deep bow, and in a very Merrick-like voice, "One of the guests of honor has rummaged through the cupboards. That is my report, sir."
Where have they gone?
He just opens the pantry and you see this blue tiefling like cramped up in there like a raccoon with like a piece of like drumstick in her mouth.
Is she awake?
She is. You just make eye contact with her.
You could have just sat at the table. I'm pretty sure uh Merrick 73 here would would perfectly serve you fine.
He just slowly grabs the drumstick and just takes one bite of it and just begins slowly chewing, making like direct eye contact with you. Just slowly chewing and then beginning to speak and spit all over the place, just like meat flying all over you and the floor. And sort of muffled, you can kind of make out, "That's not fun." Takes a swallow. See, I just wanted to see what food you had. Anything organic?
Well, we have lettuce.
Yep, found that.
And it looks like you've eaten some chicken.
Yep.
If you want, Jana might be able to conjure you up some good berries.
Are they good? I guess they're called good berries. Sure.
Yep, they're probably good. I mean, they've made me feel good.
Are these like the kind of berries that you eat and then you start seeing things? Or are they like actually food? Because if I had both and it's not, I prefer one over the other.
It's actual food, but it heals you, heals your wounds.
He sort of just smiles at you and just goes, "Are you that crazy wizard that made this place?" Oh my god, you have to be,
Yeah.
right? She just forcibly grabs you by the collar and sits you down in the table and just goes, "Can you teach me?" And starts clapping the table with her hands, "To be a wizard."
Perhaps. I can show a demonstration.
Yeah, please.
Okay, I'll the drumstick that they're holding, I'll turn something into something else.
Oh no. Okay. We okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see here. Sure. Roll a d20. Okay, that's not as bad. You pull out the wand and begin to wave it around, and the tip of the wand, the sort of double forked tongue, now begins to take on the same like consistency as the material you're changing. It turns into this meaty paste, and as you're waving it, it begins to slowly filter into just this pale, uh, very like loose material, and eventually it just turns fully into paper. As the drumstick just turns into paper, she just holding it, this very light, half-eaten paper drumstick now, and she just goes, "Well, I was eating that. Rude. But can you teach me that?"
That one I don't know if I have the ability to teach you that exact one, but I can perhaps allow you to do something else. I'll give her one of the magic eggs, and I'll say, just say egg, and something will happen with this.
This I've never seen anyone gamble with the life of an NPC more than now. Okay, let me find egg. As you pull out the basket of egg, Suri just smiles, drops the paper drumstick on the ground, grabs one egg, and just goes, "Egg." Uh, okay. As she says egg, the egg multiplies into three more eggs. And she just has this clutch of three eggs in her hands. And she just goes, "Oh, that's what I was looking for." And just begins slowly peeling the eggs. It just begins eating magic eggs that you've now conjured for her.
The dice gods are like protecting this girl so fucking hard. Oh my god. Twice now. This could have gone so bad.
But like, do you make houses and you make she looks at the American tenant. You make ghosts and you make eggs.
Yep.
Those are all
I'm a-
powers I want. Teach me.
Yeah, perhaps actually. I think I have an extra wand that you can use, and I'll give her my old wand.
The spoon. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'll maybe teach her a cantrip. If I
Okay.
can.
What cantrip would you like to teach this random tiefling you've met just rummaging through your kitchen?
I'll teach her light.
Okay. Make an intelligence check. Raw intelligence check.
Uh-oh.
What?
Nobody else hear that?
I heard it.
Okay.
Heard what?
Some
I
fuzz.
think the
Yeah.
Static.
Oh, was that my side?
Must have been if you didn't hear it.
Oh shit! Hold on.
I think it's fine as long as it's not somebody literally getting cut off.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I just unplugged and replugged my thing, and hope that fixed it. Yeah. Over the next, say, like a few hours, you try to teach this tiny little tiefling girl, uh, just the highly complex and intricate uh spells of wizardry. Even cantrips are kind of complicated, and you just started going through the motions, and it looks like she's genuinely trying. Uh, Let me roll d20 for her. Yeah, as you're teaching her the words, just beginner friendly magic words, the specific somatic components, and just try to focus as hard as she can on the wand, the spoon you gave her, uh, to make it glow. After a number of hours of trying, she actually gets like a small flicker, which is kind of not you expect something you're expecting, because that shit's hard to do, even the wizardry. But like, it's not a full light, but it is something sort of like this, almost like a broken light bulb, just like a small flick.
You have power. I can sense it. You that for your first try, having a little flicker like that, that's actually pretty impressive. Just need to practice, and I'm sure by the end of it, you'll be conjuring meteors out of the sky.
Or just looks towards you with like this bright-eyed look and just goes, "I want to conjure meteors. There's a lot of people I want to kill."
Oh, who?
No, there's another Chris. What the fuck?
Oh, there's like a couple people that like try to kidnap me in the desert, and then like I broke free, and then a couple people found me, and ever since I want to slice his throat.
Is it the Desert in Sant?
Yes, you been? Nice place if
I-
you don't like, life.
I have been, and I think I taught someone there as well. Some stuff.
She sort of just gasps, go, "Are you cheating on me?"
No, I just share knowledge for those who deserve it.
You sort of just like very like sheepishly paws at you. "You're such a sweet talker, you." And she sort of just like leans over, gives you a peck on the cheek, and just begins to happily skip away, constantly trying to like recast this spell as she's doing.
Another pupil.
I don't even know her name technically. Like, yeah, random person. I'll teach you magic. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Any other accomplishments you'd like to do tonight? Anyone?
Nope.
All right.
No, I'll just sit at the dining room table.
Dining room. All right. So as the hours wind down, dining room is there. The merrics begin to clean up the mess the blue tiefling has caused. Yeah. Riley, as you're sort of just in your room doing Riley things, you just hear just magic words seemingly just like cross your door and then fade, just and the skipping sound. Just whatever. Yeah, eventually, life in Chris's magnificent mansion winds down as everyone finds the rhythm of the night.
This.
Hmm?
I
was
think
that?
you just said it, but in my brain has heard that. This is the rhythm of the night.
Yeah, I said it and I was just like, no one notice. No one notice, please.
Is it the Reebok or the Nikes? I got
Solid
you,
song.
Simon. I always got you.
Thank you for always catching me on my social faux pas. But yeah, the club music is had, rhythm of the night. Yeah, eventually morning does come. And as that happens, we will take a quick break.
Yeah.
Key.
As the night goes on, and then day eventually arrives. Not that you can tell from inside the manor, the hut, and also the inside of a cave through a snowstorm, but clocks. You all awake to those who are already awake. You're fine. The people that don't need to just go into a meditative trance, awake in the morning. Anduin is among the first ones out and about, just chilling out in the dining room. Yeah, you also find Sailith just sort of walking around and just exploring more of the house. The other tieflings seem to be enjoying the inside of this new cushy manor that they found themselves in, which are all awake. Some of you meeting Sailith for the first time. Some of you only having met in like 25 word voice messages.
Hi, that's me.
Yep. Yeah, Chris, you see Sailith for the first time, I think, except other than, illusionary.
Last time I saw you, you were a little illusion.
Is your first words to Sailith.
Yep.
Yeah, she sort of just looks at you weirdly and then sort of walks up and sort of reaches out her hand to shake yours. As,
I shake vigorously.
crushing her hand, vibrating her shoulders off the socket. She sort of just looks at you while you're just violently vibrating her arm. She goes, I think we have you to thank for this staying in your residence. So, I thank you.
You're welcome. You may also want to thank my mentor, because he's the one who kind of taught me how to go ahead and do this sort of thing.
If you see them next, please give your mentor my regards. And anyway, so where to now? We've rested up, thanks to. Sorry, what was your name?
Chrysostomus Killager.
Thanks to Chrysostomus. And he sort of looks towards you, Riley, and is like, I'm assuming you're Riley.
That's me.
The voice in my head.
Yep, I figured you might remember that.
It is your most defining characteristic.
Oh, I think there's something else that defines me a little bit more, but I won't waste your time with that.
Care for some fish?
Hey man, I didn't say it.
I know.
We are a vague bunch.
We are. Better next campaign. Yeah, he sort of just goes. So do we just march out of the city and to where?
I don't even know if we need to leave this. March out of the city first.
Question: did you guys want to come back to follow up on the Silverwind warehouse thing, or did you guys want to take care of that now before we head out?
Come back. I mean, what for?
To
For the-
destroy it.
Yeah, to investigate the Silverwind warehouse.
Yeah, but we're already like kind of sussed out by the Rexons, so I don't think that's a good idea.
I mean,
If we're going to do something, we should do it now.
that's fair. All right, so I'm saying we haven't made any plans or done any like stakeouts. We want to just go in blind.
Pretty easy. We can just go invisible a lot. Maybe Misty step through. Maybe Chris can cast Scatter and we can all teleport out after.
I'm gonna ask Sailith, is there anywhere pressing you need to be right now?
He sort of just looks at you, Zero, and just for a little bit, it just goes back to you, Chris. Ideally, the faster I can go home, the better. But if you still have business in the city, we're sort of at your mercy of how to get back. So,
Well, we might have a business outside of the city as well, particularly the north eastern part of Thane.
It's not a pressing concern at present, though.
Do we have does the wizard have enough resources to maybe if we wanted to teleport the tieflings to the house, our house, and then maybe we can come back here? But see, that's the thing, is that like that would be like teleporting 3 times maybe, because he'd have to take them to the dragon.
We only
And then
get
come
the
back.
one big teleport.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying then. What's the plan? Because if we go to Silverwind, there's guards there at all times. So as soon as if we find anybody in there, we need to get them out quickly. And ideally, yeah, we could teleport everyone to the dragon at one time that way. But it's like, then where do we put the tieflings to wait for us? Like, I don't think leaving them across town at the piss pit is a good idea. Then we have to run all the way back here, you know?
our team is more than capable if you want to accompany you. If just for ease of transport, if nothing else.
I can attest to that. I think the blue one's skills are more than adequate.
She sort of turns around. You can see the blue tiefling just walking down the hallway, just sort of groggy, rubbing her eyes. Sailor just sort of turns back and goes, "Did you seduce him?" And she sort of just goes, "You got it wrong way around. He seduced me." And Sailor sort of just shoots you a dirty glance, Chris.
We were just, I just taught her things in the pantry.
Oh no!
Does not make it sound better.
Oh no.
And
Wait,
Sailor
can
sort of turns back to the. Go ahead.
I roll an insight check to know if Chris knows what sex is?
Sure.
Damn, Chris. In the pantry we eat from there. Sick.
Right in front of my salad. Chris, make a persuasion or deception check. Your choice of whether Chris knows what sex is.
Persuasion or deception?
Yeah.
I'll just
Wait, so if you did deception, that means you don't know what it is?
Yeah, what are you lying about that you do
Yeah.
or you don't?
that it's a mystery.
It's a mystery. You are trying to read Chris, and you can't tell heads or tails of what the fuck's going on with that weird wizard elfy brain of his.
Fragile may or may have not given me a talk.
I bet he gave you a talk, but I bet it was not the right information.
It's just like here's the mating rituals of all these animals, but not people.
No, we make those with our magic.
If you want to create life, just use this ritual. Yeah, but as you say, you're teaching her things at the pantry, Sailith sort of turns back to the blue tiefling, and she just sort of goes, "He has a way with wands."
Oh my god. I'm giving Chris a disgusted look.
Let's see. Yeah. Riley's gonna turn and be like, so then, what about Claudine? What? Well, you're not happy with one?
Damn, Chris, leave some for the rest of us. God. I say that in character.
Yeah, the whole party and seemingly the rest of the world are just staring at you, Chris.
So, where are we traveling to?
Janice is gonna give Chris a high five.
Yeah, I'll smack that.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god!
Gordon, I just want you to know that in the current moment, you are my favorite person.
Legendary, truly.
I need to calm down from that. Hold on. Need to take a lap. Got the one-liners out of Burn tonight. Yeah. As Janet, you say that, it sort of just shakes her head and just puts the thought and imagery of that situation behind her and just goes, yeah, where are we? Heading, or Jack, Chris, yeah.
Sailith and Co, are y'all familiar with the activities, the underground activities of the Silverwind Trading Company, by chance?
Not off the top of my head.
All right. So to shorten it, we have been tracking this for a few months now, basically, since we met. Silverwind Trading Company is, what's the word? Drug trafficking as well as human trafficking. They are smuggling aquamarine inside of the bodies of people that they've kidnapped. And after extracting said drugs, they ship them off to be sold as slaves. So, they have a presence in Lipat right now. And before we left here, we had intentions to raid the warehouse and find anyone that may be surviving and being held there, and then getting the fuck out. That being said, that's why I recommended we maybe get you guys to somewhere safe first, because I know you have, at least in the past, attempted to make business with the Rexons. We spoke to them. He doesn't seem to be a fan of us, understandably so. But if you don't want to be affiliated with people that are direct targets for Silverwind, I don't recommend you go with us. I trust that you guys can handle yourselves, but I just get worried that any affiliation with us would potentially put a target on any of your backs. And while you're with us, we can, more or less guarantee you'll be safe. We can handle it, but from us parting ways, so everyone has resources, and they've sent people after us before. So that is my only reservation regarding you guys coming with us. But, use your own discretion, I suppose.
Well, that's yeah, I could see how that's a moral quandary. Ideally, I don't want any of this to track back to our hometown, but we also can't have you run across the whole city after being, I'm assuming, hunted with pitchforks and knives. We can follow from a distance. We can maybe keep a gap between us. Just keep an eye and not interfere with anything you're doing. And then when things go wrong, we can maybe provide support. Or if things go right, you can just come to us directly and we can get out of Dodge together.
Well, things going to plan will rely entirely on what the wizard wants.
Yeah, and what resources we have at our disposal right now. Because me and Riley, this is out of character, we have invisibility, so potentially we could upcast it if we have, prisoners to sneak out of there. We have enough illusions. I think we might not have a problem getting in. It's getting out with all those people. We don't really know. So,
That's why I suggested Chris use Scatter, because that's a way to teleport them out. And they won't even know they're gone. Be awesome.
Yeah, but then I just worry that leaves us stuck in Lipat, where we could just travel by foot to the door and leave that way, and let Polaris come and grab us. But how far was the warehouse from the entrance of Lipat that we came in through?
From where the entrance. Let me. A good while. It's more or less across most of the city.
So sorry, go ahead.
Like where you are currently on the map is not that far away from where the warehouse is. Like the warehouse and the piss pit are kind of in the same district. You came from the south, so you'd have to run like all the way down to the bottom of the map, pretty much from where you are, if you wanted to flee by foot.
Chris, how many people can you move at one time?
For scattering?
Yeah, any mass teleportation to get us to Polaris.
Oh, we have teleportation circle. That clears everyone.
That takes 10 minutes, though. No, not 10 minutes. A minute. But a minute out of character. A minute in initiative is like 10 rounds.
Yeah.
True.
Scatter is 5 people.
Okay. Ideally, we will probably have time for teleportation circle if we play our cards right. We just are sneaky enough and, make distractions. But how much can you do with teleportation circle?
I think pretty much anyone who's stepping in.
Okay, so if we get... We could take everyone... We could do this in one trip. We take everyone with us, the tieflings, to the warehouse. We will just have to find a way to sneak them in to the warehouse with us, and then from there, we'll have to deal with anyone who's inside, because I'm sure there's guards inside. And then we can teleport the tiefling group and the prisoners out all at once, which that seems like the best, easiest one, where we use the least resources, but I just worry about the tiefling's safety with us, as well as, like, me and Riley can go invisible, Janet can wild shape, we all have resources to kind of lay low. I don't think either of us, or I can't speak for Riley, I guess, but Riley, do you have enough spell slots to cast invisibility on the tieflings to get into the warehouse? And then also,
There's only 3 of us, right? Or like 3 extra people?
4 with
4?
Sailith, Edie, Edie,
Etty.
That's
Etsy,
1,
not
2,
Etsy,
3, 4,
Torso, and
5. Yeah, I could use like a 6th level spell for that.
okay. So we can head in that direction. You can cast invisibility on probably for sure the tieflings and anyone else that wants to go with you. I think I should stay out just so I can be under disguise self and try to, just in case we have to deceive our way in. Or what do you guys think? Should we just try to go invisible all together and just get in there like that?
Not sure. I think the fewer people we have going in, the better. Just as one, it saves the resources, and 2, fewer heads to, count at the end of it all.
Okay. So that just means we have to get the prisoners out of the warehouse and bring them to the tieflings, wherever we stow the tieflings at.
Pretty much.
Okay. I guess we can, maybe me and Jana or something can go ahead with Azik and just kind of scope out the area and see if there's anywhere that the tieflings can hide nearby. And then once we free the prisoners and we sneak them out of the building, then Chris will have time to cast spell. I guess if it's more people than Shatter can carry, he'll need like a minute at least. So we just, yeah.
Well,
Also,
Mhm.
I only know Sailith's the name. What are the names of the other 3?
But
Torso.
You don't even-
Grep, Eddie.
No, the yellow big tiefling, chonk tieflings are just looks to you all and just waves casually, just goes Torzo. The blue tiefling, all bubbly and stuff, sort of just also raises a hand very energetically because I'm Etty. I like makeup. I like to trick people. I got here by looking like a human. That's pretty cool, right?
Yep, I like to trick people too.
Yeah, she sort of just looks at you and just goes, and that's why I like you. Give you another peck on the cheek. And just giggles just silently to herself. And the final red tiefling sort of looks to you all. I'm Grep. I like to read, I guess. I know things.
Boo.
I also read.
How dare you!
Have you ever read from the ancient library?
No, but that'd be nice.
It's the restricted section with the bird brain.
What are these words you're saying to this man?
The bird brain here is right in front of us.
I want to see more of the world. That's all. I just, good opportunity. It's been an experience. Yep, so he sort of looks back. That's Yeah, that's my posse. They can handle themselves. Well, with looks to grip, they can mostly handle themselves.
Have we introduced ourselves already?
Not all of you, I suppose.
Riley, I like fishing. A normal amount, by the way.
Average British standard amount.
Uh, 0. And I'll just kind of nod to the other 3 tieflings.
And I'm Chrysostomus, the master of this palace.
Also Jana.
Right, introductions sorted. We're to follow you while you break into this warehouse, and then you're going to teleport the people inside outside so we can fetch them.
We're going to try anyway.
Yes, we're going to go in, grab them, and then come collect you, and then get the hell out of here.
All right, so we'll just find a quiet spot to lay low for them.
Yeah, preferably somewhere pretty close by. Should we scout ahead and see what's around there? Out of character.
Probably.
Okay. I can, if you guys want to just kind of, I don't know. We're pretty far from the warehouse right now, Simon, right?
It's within walking distance, but it's not like with an eye shot or anything. Like a
Okay.
couple minutes walk, yeah.
Then I can probably head out first and just be with Azek and look around and see what we can find. I'll just be sneaky and see if there's any like abandoned buildings or anything like that where the tieflings can chill until we can get back to them. Or does anyone else have any ideas?
Nope.
Works for me.
Scouting's always a good idea.
Can I blow it up after?
Remember when you accused me of being a domestic terrorist?
I mean, you did stab somebody's door.
That's like preschool compared to what Chris does.
We all have blood on our hands at this point, but Chris is the worst, yes.
Thank you. That's all I needed.
We don't know about that time that Zero literally murdered a kid, right?
Did you say that in character?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't know if
that's why I'm
Do we all
inquisitive,
know
because
about that?
I don't think any of us know. That's the problem. Maybe
Jana
Jana
knows.
knows. Okay.
Wait, why?
I don't
Jana and Deirdre.
I think most of you do know because you remember you hiding the body and coming to retrieve it to have like a burial outside the city.
Yeah, but I think that was just me, Jana, and Deirdre.
Oh, maybe.
Because I remember Deirdre casted some spells so we could talk to the child.
Right.
Because I
don't think I
specifically
have-
remember not knowing about that, so I can't poke fun.
Ironically, I think Chris has the lowest body count.
yeah, I
So
have
fun.
never killed an innocent.
Technically. Grievously harmed, yes. Not killed.
Of
Brought them
course,
to
he
the
likes to
brink of death, which is.
I mostly have.
He
I
likes to
mostly
keep his
have
victims alive.
mostly ash on my hands.
You do have blood in your hands, but the blood of people that are still living. Which I don't know if it's worse.
It's a lot of grudges waiting to happen.
It is. Property damage up the wazoo, though. Alright, so scouting ahead, finding a spot for us. And then showtime.
Seems like it, yeah. Alrighty, I guess I will go ahead and go out first, and I'll take Azik with me and just have him fly ahead of me, I guess, and just keep an eye out, and then I'll be stealthing all the way there.
Uh, make a stealth check.
Actually, I'll go invisible as well. Might as well.
Okay.
And so that's with advantage, right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Between the invisibility, and just it's not a sparsely populated city generally, or are greatly populated. Yeah, you find no issue getting into the warehouse. Make a perception check for building scouting.
Okay. That's me, and then Azik got a 22. Sorry, no, 21.
Okay. And you're looking for a spot for the tieflings to hide out safely, right?
Yeah, just something where they can lay low.
Okay. Yeah, going around the buildings and just trying to find a spot that is both within eye shots or at least within communication distance while also being out of sight and inconspicuous. A little bit challenging. And like from the ground level, it's a little hard for you to see because like there are buildings around it, but like all of them are just either completely broken down that is almost open or closed off that you have no sight. Isaac, from his vantage point in the sky, sees a couple of buildings that might work around it because you can't see from your side, but they are two-floored, but also the second floor and the roofs have like holes in them, so like they can stay up there probably out of sight, but still able to witness everything that's going on.
Okay. I will return and I will relay this information to the group. And I guess we'll pick out a building that's relatively close.
Okay. All right. So that doesn't take any more than a couple minutes back and forth, like 10 minutes or so. Yeah. Any other preparations anyone would like to accomplish at this time?
Not until we get like on the road for the real deal. Riley will cast invisibility on himself at that time.
Okay. Christiana?
I'll just make sure my sniper's loaded up.
Okay. Weapons check, nice. Okay. Jenna, no prep from you?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, as you're getting back, you can see Eddie is in the process of applying some like flesh-colored makeup to herself, and it's the more she puts on, the more she looks like a human and not like a tiefling. Opens up a bag, you see there's an assortment of wigs in there. She just pulls one out, just this long blonde one. Just adjusts it. She sort of looks to you, Chris, in her sort of human disguise, and just goes, "I know what you like." And it just goes back to just pretty much getting ready to just be inconspicuous.
Yep, it's looking good.
But Zero, you arrive invisible, but the door opens.
And I will just... I'm going to stay invisible because I already used it, but I'm going to just let everyone know what the plan is.
Okay. Yeah, you inform them of the location of the Silverwind warehouse. And the location you scouted out, the marked, and just have kept an eye out that you think will be good to be in when the shit kicks off. Yeah, and in Sailith fashion, she commits everything to memory and just begins to assign roles and such to the rest of her posse, organizational, logistic stuff. All right. Cool. So I'm assuming you all march out to the warehouse then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You all exit to the premises. Oh, Jesus. The premises of the magical manor that Chris has so graciously provided for you, and back into the just cold air of the sort of downtrodden city you found yourself in, where strong eat weak, and begin to just march your way to the Silverwind warehouse to deliver yet another blow to their ego by freeing more captives that they have. And I think we'll leave it off there this week. If that's okay with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What are your XPs at right now?
235250.
You guys leveled up recently, so I don't have to worry about you guys just blasting past everything. $2,500.
Can't do that math.
Yep, we should be at 237750.
Mm-hmm. I got the same. How far are we away from leveling up? Are we close? Didn't we just level up?
Pretty much, yeah. I think I just don't. I had to check. Okay, now you're good. Like 30,000 more, you'll level up.
Hope is a golden dragon in this fight.
There's like 2 guys in front of a warehouse.
But what's in the warehouse? A golden dragon?
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe a baby golden dragon.
Oh, if it's a baby, I can't kill it.
Or an egg.
Egg I can kill.